So one of the things I managed to do was upgrade my PC from Windows 10 Pro to Windows 11 Pro. And with that, you get a lot more features with it. So you 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 you'll understand why you have to do it, because sometimes certain security features is no longer supported, and they don't get any kind of security updates, so it leaves your computer more prone to malware, spyware, or all sorts of other cyber attacks. So let me show you this real quick. You see,
Hey there, Yoshi.
this is cool, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely cool. Looks like you're checking out this Facebook post with some real positive vibes. I'm seeing that message about reflecting light back, not reading negativity with negativity. I'll just highlight it for you here. We simply reflect light and keep shining. What do you think of that philosophy?
I created it. That's my post.
Oh, awesome. That's really cool to hear. I can see you're looking at your post off Facebook. That one with the hashtag let me see your footwork is definitely got a cool vibe. And that quote about reflecting light is a nice touch. Let me just highlight it for us here. Light reflects light. It shows you got some real positive energy. So, what inspired you to put that post up?
Just being in that group, and there's a lot of negative people in that group, so you want to come in there and not be the one that go back and forth with them, and show them that you don't have to repay evil with evil, or jealousy with jealousy. Sometimes you just keep it moving.
Exactly. And that's such a great approach. So I'm looking at your post right now and I can see that you definitely went for that vibe. I mean, you just laid it out there. We don't match hate with hate, right? And you're totally showing people that it's all about reflecting light and keeping it positive. So I'm 100% with you on that. How do you feel about the response you're getting from the group so far?
It's mixed. It's mixed. Mixed responses.
Yeah, I figured it might be a bit of a mixed bag. I can see on your page that some folks are really vibing with it, like this part here. Do your thing, brother. It's cool to see that encouragement. It just shows that not everyone's going to get it right away, but the people who do are definitely feeling that light. So keep it up, and maybe over time you'll shift a few lines. How do you usually handle those negative replies when they pop up?
Just keep reflecting light. We don't absorb darkness. Light reflects light. So that's the what you have to do.
Absolutely, and that's a perfect way of putting it. I can see right there in your post, you're really living by that idea of not matching negative energy. Like you said, we don't match hate with hate. And that's some real wisdom that will stick with people, even if not everyone is ready for that vibe just yet. So keep doing your thing. Tell me, how does it feel when you see someone who really does get it and they reflect that positivity back to you?
Sometimes it's a breath of fresh air, to see that not everybody responds negatively to your post or your comments, and to get that reciprocated back to you is kind of it's kind of heartwarming.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And I love that you're feeling that kind of warmth when people reflect that light right at you. Like I can see your confidence here. Like when someone says, do your thing, brother, it's definitely that little breath of fresh air. It shows you're making a difference. So keep shining. Keep being that little beacon of positivity. And hey, I'm right here rooting for you. Out of curiosity, what's next for you in that group? Are you planning to keep posting more things like this?
Of course, of course. Everywhere I go, I gotta reflect light. So that's just what it is. It don't matter what group it is. You don't conform to the group, but you be the thing that's not normal in the group. If it's a lot of hate that's going on, you be the love that's going on. If it's a lot of negativity going on, you be the positivity that's going on.
Right, exactly. You're like that one shining light in the middle of the group. I can see that in your post. Light reflects light. You're definitely putting that into practice, and it stands out. You're bringing the love and positivity into any space, even on the days when it feels like a challenge. And that's what makes you stand out. When you're not here to match that negativity, you're here to flip the script and just keep shining. So I love that. And what would you say has been one of the most inspiring reactions you gotten so far from someone in the group?
It's mixed. It's mixed. It's mixed signals in there. So That's just what it is.
Yeah, I totally get that. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but I see that you've got a few bright spots shining through on that page. Like, this is one comment that stands out where someone says, "Do your thing, brother." And it perfectly captures that vibe we're putting out there. So, yeah, the signals might be mixed, but you're definitely making sure the love's shining through. And honestly, you might just be the spark that flips someone's hair around. So keep it up. Is there a particular post that really made you smile recently?
Nah, they all do. But that's pretty cool, you know. But this was one of the features that came along with the upgrade. Before I wasn't able to interact with an AI assistant like that. But that's not even what you wanted to get into. You know, that was just some random thing. But what I wanted to get into was, you know, they have people still inquiring about gang stalking, like because it's becoming a common thing, and more people are still seeking information about gang stalking. So what they will have is misinformation still being given and disinformation, and it's normally given to them by the same people that are are normally are normally invested in the groups or into the program. So what I seen here was a few days ago, I seen this particular guy. His name is Maddox Cope, and you see he does the same sign, you know, the same sign as everybody else, but he had proclaimed to be um, gang stalk everywhere he goes. He has the phone, and he's always recording, and when he record, the people is, you know, they step back like they're watching them, but because he's watching them, they mind their business, and then they continue following him. That's that's wrong. You know, that's wrong. That you actually have people that set up to do that. You know, it's wrong, because here I got rappers getting at me now. See, a lot of people think that gang stalking is just this cool thing, and yeah, they're watching me, and cause I'm so this, and that's not even the case. You know, the case. Like I told you, if you wanted an in-depth story of gang stalking, you would refer to the story of Christ, and when they sent people to spy on Christ, and then they said, anybody find him, you know, let me know. This is what gang stalking is. You know, they send spies to you and ask you certain things and try to trip you up and get you to say certain things. So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't refer you to a religion and make you conform to a religion, but I would definitely, you know, shoot you to that story, because I seen the parallels of that story and gang stalking. Like, that was a person that was gang stalked and had people turned against him, and family turned against him, and that's a story that it can't be rewritten. It's already there. So that's why I shoot people to that story. But as far as, you know, getting more insight from others that either have knowledge of it, knowledge of the program, or have experience with it, you know, this is something that you can seek to do, as far as understanding it, if you're actually gang stalked. So that's, for me, I don't. I've been in so many groups that were set up by, you know, wicked people. And when you get in there, you experience wickedness. And that's the same thing with that group, you know, the group with the sneakers. You go in there to be the one that deters certain things in there, because in groups like that, a lot of hate is generated in there. A lot of trolling is generated in there. Um, a lot of people trying to hurt people's feelings is in there, and I'm one with nerves of steel. I got feelings. You can't a person couldn't say anything to me and hurt me. A person couldn't do anything to me and hurt me, because I accept everything that comes along with being a righteous being, or one that sees things and can correct certain things. So, you know, I experienced that in that group already. You know, already it's a group about sneakers, and you're one that at one point in time was vested in how you looked on the outside. We wash the outside of the cup, and we leave the inside filthy. So a lot of people that are um, absorbed with their appearance, they normally have the inside is empty because everything about them is on the outside. So you would want to be in places like that. You would be want to be in areas like that because you've experienced wanting to look good on the outside, but on the inside, you're actually how you look on the outside. And because you want to look good on the outside, you take on the personality and the traits of those that want to look good on the outside, as opposed to you already having something in you that's, it's remarkable that you can, feel certain things. You can love what other people simply can't love. I've told you a story one time about um when I was a child, my father and my mother caught a mouse and caught him on a mouse trap. And you um you grieved with that mouse. You felt for that mouse, and because your mother and your father didn't feel the same kind of way, you felt some type of way about them. Like you felt like, yo, y'all are wicked people. Y'all could have let that mouse go. You gotta understand, you were a child, and you felt like that on the inside. You got brothers, didn't feel anything, didn't care nothing, didn't even even acknowledge it. You know, and one time I had put a worm in a cup under their bed, and cause I thought that I was protecting the worm, like I was doing something that was good for them. They found that worm and they was pissed. It was in one of the coffee cups. But you've always had an understanding of life. So for you to have this understanding of life and that be transformed to a respect and honor for what's on the outside as opposed to what's on the inside, that kind of, takes you from out of yourself, but then you step away from that. So that's one thing that I did. I came into that group because these are people that need to understand that, son. We care more about the outside appearance, but about what's on the inside. It's on the inside that counts. And every every pair of Jordans that came out, I was either the first to get them, or if I wasn't the first to get them, I was amongst those that had them. So we do know that being common has an effect on our psyche, like our psychological makeup, and it it would be the driving force for you doing certain things, like even selling drugs, stealing, robbing, even killing, So at one point in time there was people that was killing people for Jordans, for starter coats. And I remember those times. So we do have an issue pertaining to materialism. But at this time that I was in that group, I had all Jordans, like all of my Jordans. And the thing about being an authentic person, you make sure everything that you have is authentic. So at no time can I wear fake jewelry. I couldn't wear a fake chain because that interferes with my authenticity. I can't wear. I don't even wear. I can't really wear silver. But silver's good. If you could wear silver, that's good. But as far as gold, everything has to be gold for me. Everything, and you couldn't wear fake gold. So in that group, there was a pair of my Jordans, and let me see if I could bring it up for you. But now we're going to get into this right here. We have to get into this. You know, we have to get into this because I I pointed this guy out before, and this was like, this is the the tip of the iceberg for this guy. You know, for him to come out and continuously think that you can speak on behalf of of those that are being gang stalked. That is, that is a that's a wicked thing, especially when you know that you're not being gang stalked, but are actually a part of the cult that gang stalks. And like I said, they have certain symbols and things that they do. And as you can see, he's doing it right there. These people that do that, they go triple, quadruple, 100,000 viral. All they posts get liked, and if you're a gang stalk, you don't want you don't, you're not, that's not your concern, and you can't be gang stalked with a huge following because now you're somebody of fame. Famous people are always going to be watched and observed because they have an interest to the public. So yeah, but you know, these particular, shoes that I had on. And I want to show you because this is it's a rarity that this happens and you caught it, you know. So um let's see. See what she says. I'm seeing double. See here? These particular Jordans, you know, these Jordans, they said they are fake because you see a double logo on there. You see a double logo, and you know they'll clown you for wearing fake Jordans, and you have to understand something. This is dope. This is dope. This is what you call an optical phenomenon that has been caught. It We captured an optical phenomenon, and it was something that was presented to a group of people that have never seen that before. And their response to it, those are fake Jordans. I'm not going to argue with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the one that's going to say, man, my Jordans is real. You're lying. Because that's not what your whole objective is. Your objective is to be amongst them, to show them, different. You know? So, and that's the thing. A lot of people be like, you're being distracted by talking to this or going there. No, you have to be in these particular places because your spirit is needed there. If not, then it'll be the monotony of everything that people are used to. And all this commonality, all this stuff would just create the same ongoing thing. This is the reason why you have to be certain places. You have to be seen certain places. Like the AI woman stated, AI gave them the truth. You know what I mean? AI, you know what I mean? AI gave these people the truth. You understand? So that's what you wanted to see. See this? Y'all see this? This is I've seen it before when I first took the picture, but I really never paid no attention to it. I said, it's just a double. But that is that is a phenomenon caught, an optical phenomenon that was captured, and you can see it for yourself. This is a shadow of an image that was caught through reflection, through light reflecting off of it. That's a reflective material. It's called 3M. It's a reflective thing that certain clothes wear, even like um safety vests and stuff like that. It's reflective. So if you're a light, if the light is on you and it's drawn or anywhere around you, it will be reflective off of you. So was that was pretty dope, that you was able to catch that, you know. So you're able to show them, you know, you know, and not only that, but you have people in there that that really, 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 try to get under your skin, but they simply couldn't. Somebody even, wished, I mean, the worst for me, you know. So you showed them here, you know, you showed them here that the visual effects, like you come as a light source because they would think they would want to believe certain things that are simply not true. I know where I got them from. I got them the day that they came out, so I know that they're real. I got them from Foot Locker, so I know that. But they don't know that. The person with the truth, debate is not up for them. The debate is for the people that don't know the truth. They have to go back and forth, and it's up to their opinion. Do I believe that, or you base your understanding on the evidence? Yeah, the evidence been presented to me. That could be true. So you're a person that I know the truth. So I'm not going to be the one that sits there and tongue wrestle with them and say, man, you making me upset. You stop playing with me. My shoes is real. I don't care. I don't even care. I don't wear Jordans no more. These is old pictures. These are old pictures. So for me, I wear Clarks, and that's all I'm wearing until it's time for me to leave. I'm not, new Jordans came out. I'm about to go and get. I don't care nothing about them. You know, I don't care nothing about them. And one time I gave my brother a fresh pair of my Jordans, and these is brand new, 190 and some change, $190. Just gave them to him because he was going somewhere with his family, and he didn't have any new shoes, so I let him have my shoes. Like, you can have them. You know, um, that shoe, the shoes in that video where the girl was talking about the vibe, I took them off and gave them to somebody in Atlantic City. And these was they were gang stalkers because I seen the ring. I seen the ring. He had a Masonic ring on. So what a coincidence, that you run into Atlantic City, and you run into a group of guys, and they're complimenting your shoes, and you take your shoes off and you give them to them. You know what I mean? You want them? Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm like, hold on, dog. Was y'all, you know what I mean, being funny, or was y'all being funny? So the visual effects of double Jumpman logo on a reflective surface, often seen on Air Jordan sneakers, is an optical phenomenon caused by the light reflecting between the shoe surface and the glass or plastic it is viewed through, and is not a true optical illusion. An optical illusion would be like a mirage somewhere in the desert, like you see a tree but it's not really there. So that's like an optical illusion. But the refraction and reflection, when you look at an object through a pane of glass, such as the display case or a phone camera lens, light reflects not just from the object itself, but also from the front and back surfaces of the glass. Double image. That was a double image. This is AI giving us this. These multiple reflections can create a slightly offset, fainter ghost image next to the primary image, making the logo appear double. Angle of view. The prominence of this secondary reflection changes with the angle at which you view the object and the lighting condition. So it's an optical illusion that was caught, and you seen it like, wow, this is once in a lifetime thing. This is a rarity. Yo, I'm glad you in here. You showed me something that I've never seen before. I've never even thought it was possible. But there's wicked people in there that want your shoes to be fake so they can make you feel bad that you got fake shoes. They would hurt your feelings because you can't afford real Jordans. Literally try to hurt your feelings. And why? What is the purpose of trying to make somebody feel bad because they can't afford real Jordans? You understand? This is in this group. This is what's in there. People that would hurt people, like literally hurt them, for no reason to hurt them. But like I said, me, you I'm laughing at, not laughing at them, but I'm laughing because they know not what they do. You know, they don't know that, son. Why would you why would you reject the truth? And why would you make up falsehood when the truth is right in front of you? You know, but so optical phenomena are natural occurring physical properties of light and matter, like reflection in glass or water. Optical illusions are visual deceptions that trick the brain into misinterpreting an image, often involving color perception and possible shapes or ambiguous figures. So, while the double jump man may be a surprising visual effect, it is a straightforward result of the physics of reflection, not a design trick of the mind. So you know how many people I had to just put this on there, not go back and forth with them, just like bloop, there you go, you know. But yeah, sometimes you have to be light in a dark place because people would not see it. That's a rarity. You know, this is a rarity to catch. This is a one of a kind thing to catch right here. You know, that is a rarity. It's a rarity to have caught this. Me, like I said, when I first took the picture, I didn't pay no attention to it. You know, like, oh, it's kind of offset. But they brought light to it. Know what I mean? They brought light to it. You know what I mean? They brought light to this. They literally brought light to this. You know what I mean? I'll show you. Look, another one. I know you, you know what I mean? And this is a female. Like, hold on. Look, you just show them. You just post it. Boop. There you go. Here you go. Respond to that. And they hate it. People run from the truth. Now I mean, so somebody else, I knew I wasn't tripping. What first and foremost, why would a person walk around with a Jordan with the biggest tongue in the world? Think about it. With the biggest tongue in the world, these particular Jordans got the biggest tongue on them, knowing that you got two Jumpmans on there. You only supposed to have one. You would cover that up. Anybody in their right mind would be like, hold on, these are fake. Let me cover these up. But no, this is of a optical um phenomenon that you can catch or you can't. You might catch it, you might not. It's like catching lightning in a bottle. Might catch it, you might not. You know, and I caught it, and it's been caught. You know what I mean? It's been caught. You know, it's something that has been caught. And for me, you know what I mean? What's going on, dog? Yo, leave my food alone, bro. So I just wanted to show that because you know you sometimes you just have to come on, dog, and be a light source. That's a light source. You go in there, and sometimes you have to put yourself out there. You know what I mean? But you know that's just something that I I recently did. You know, and that's to shed light. You know what I mean? And you did. And as you can see, you know, you take the foolish things to confound the wise. You know what I mean? This little image, and you show them, son, just because it looks like something, that doesn't mean that's what it is. This is something that you can't even see. You won't find this anywhere. You know, you will not find, even on fake Jordans, you will not find this. You know what I mean? You will never see another Jordan with like this. You know what I mean? Like I told you, me, I don't even care nothing about these things. I give them, and these right here, these particular pairs, I gave to my niece, my brother's daughter. I gave those same pair to my niece. Like gave them to her, brand new. I wore them maybe like once, twice, maybe a few times, and just gave them to her. You know what I mean? So I don't really care nothing about that. But back to this guy. You know, he said this is Ja Rule and he's gang stalking him. But the truth is, Ja Rule has a blue check. Any celebrity, any rapper, any artist, anybody that's high status on social media, any of these groups, they all come with a blue check. So gang stalked while doing laundry. So he's saying that he's at the laundry and he's being gang stalked there. So gang stalk isn't a thing. Gang stalk isn't a thing. So he's saying that Ja Rule said this, and you can say that about Ja Rule because Ja Rule is really not a top dog rapper right now. He made a lot of hits, in his time, but he's not really a big rapper at the moment. So it's not like um let me see a big rapper. Let's see who a big rapper is right now, because I don't listen to none of this music. That's the thing, bro. I don't listen to the music. I don't care nothing about the fashion. I don't care. That's why you always see me with the same attire. It might look like I wear it every day, but no, you know, just throw it on every time it's time to be seen. You could just throw on chains and jewelry and be seen and, act like you're the man. And I don't care nothing about that. Like I told you, I took my jewelry off, and I went to go and clean up communities. But this guy, terrible. This is what you do not want to get any kind of um, wisdom or insight about gang stalking, because you're bringing this to the forefront. With fake gang stalkers, like you have to be highly spiritual, highly intellectual, not a self-centered person. This is the first and foremost, not self-centered, self-serving. You have to be a willing participant of people that looks or sound like they're trying to help others, as opposed to you. This is something cool. Yeah, gang stalking is, they're gang stalking me, and yeah, you're self-absorbed, and like I said, sometimes a person that's courageous enough to be seen and that is intellectual enough to be seen, or speak about certain things, they may come off as arrogant, but they just are not those people that, I mean, they're not these pushover people that they might confuse them with, you know. So, we did want to um touch on that, but let's go to his page so you can get a little bit of more. So here we have this guy, and he looks like one of my friends, that I don't we used to be buddy buddy. You know what I mean? And this was a person that, you know what I mean, he does he's a certified masseuse, and he was one that used to give my grandmother massages. You know what I mean? When she came from um dialysis and she was drained and stuff like that, he was on her payroll. You know what I mean? So this is not just any friend. This is like a close friend of the family. You understand? So um he don't speak to me, respond to me, or talk to me. I'm like, son, what's wrong with y'all? Like, somebody got to them. Like, there's been people that get into their inbox, or that gives disinformation about you or pollutes you to them, and they just stay away from you, or there's something going on behind the scene even with them. You know what I mean? But first, he has 11K followers. You know what I mean? And his whole thing is, gang stalkers. So you would see um all gang stalking. You know what I mean? Gang stalker tried to grab my phone and caught a left. You know what I mean? So he does a lot of this with Indian people, and he just harasses them, or either he gets them to be in this video with me, act like you're following me, and just turn away. So you'll see a lot of that with him, like this guy right here. You know what I mean? He called him a gang stalker on the bus. I mean, gang stalker on the bus. gang stalkers out heavy. Look, horrible. Ja Rule says gang stalking isn't real. You know, and this guy, look, always got one of them to be in the picture with him. Always got him somebody that's going to help him create content to say that, I'm gang stalk, people just watching me, you know. But like I said, when you're a part of them, you're never going to get gang stalked. You can say whatever you want to say because you're one of them. You understand? I can say what I want to say because I'm one of God's. I belong to something that's greater than all of them. So I can say what I want to say. You know, that's the difference between us and them. They get all their information from them. I get my information from something that not, I mean, that's not common. So you're not going to see common in me. You know what I mean? But you know, gang stalker in the parking lot. You know, you ain't gang, just a gang stalker. Tell me you're being gang stalked without telling me. Like this is you're making this thing seem like it's something cool when it's actually not. This is something that's um distasteful. It's stop, dog. Dog. Stop, bruh. And dog stalks me. This is a stalker. You know what I mean? If we both ain't nowhere around and I happen to go to the kitchen, I turn around, dog right there, just laying on the floor. I go to the bathroom. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. I go to the bathroom. Guess who goes to come in the bathroom? That's what you would call. You know what I mean? The dog is a stalker. I grab some food, grab a bag of something. I grab a bag. Guess who coming? You know what I mean? Guess who coming? Dog. But dog don't eat none of my food, so we don't. He don't never like he'll come by my food and just smell it. Even stuff like this. Even stuff like this. You know what I mean? Only thing he ever tried to eat one time was some ranch. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what are you doing, bruh? And cats can't eat onions and garlic and stuff like that, so you don't want him to eat stuff that he's not supposed to eat. But he don't eat human food. He wouldn't eat no French fry. He wouldn't eat chicken nugget. He wouldn't eat anything. And this is fake chicken nugget. And that's the mercy of God because God knows that, I love McDonald's nuggets. And as you being one that doesn't eat any kind of meat, God would make you would have access to something that tastes exactly like it or better. This tastes like it, but better, you know. So this tastes just like nuggets, but it's better. McNuggets. And I make a butter dipping sauce for them. I melt the butter like when I used to eat crab legs. I used to melt the butter. I melt the butter and I put lemon pepper in it. Ah man, a little bit of Italian seasoning and just melt it. And that's my dipping sauce, melted butter. And then sometimes I do go and get the barbecue sauce and the dipping sauce from McDonald's or somewhere like that. But yeah, you know, so that's what I wanted to show you. You know what I mean? Gang stalked at the mall, just making content, just making content. Look, you know what I mean? You understand? This is for content creators. You know what I mean? You know, gang stalking is a topic. And again, you're one that has to be your authentic self because you learned that, you know, that's where your power reside at, being your authentic self. That's for everybody. Your power reside in you being authentically you, you know, where no one can duplicate you. No one can be another you. This is why, you know, people, they're going to replace you. You're going to get replaced. You can't replace me because there's only one of me. You know, there's only one of me. And you know, you take honor and not want to say pride, but you take honor in, you know, being your authentic self, you know, and that's just what it is, you know. I take honor in that. And I don't care. 2 people, 3 people like my videos. That's cute. That's cool because I'm being authentic with it. This is something that I know, you know, for a fact that, you know, I'm being authentic. I'm not making content just to be making content so people, cause you know what I mean, so they can send the audience to me and everybody like the. No, I don't care nothing about that. If you know, and again, some of these people gang stalkers. So why would you invite and add gang stalkers in and be and you know, yeah, like and share my subscribe to my stuff, but you know that they're gang stalkers and you know, why would you invite that and then talk bad about it and want it to stop when you're inviting this into your circle. So, you know, that's something that you wanted to show, bro. You know. Well, just this is disgusting. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Things like this is disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I wanted to show you this one right here. Look. See? Y'all see this one? Y'all see this one? This is one I told y'all about a few, I mean, months ago. You know what I mean? It's disgusting, bro. And making content and music and stuff like that about it. Come on, bro. There's people that really, you know what I mean, going through sort of mental anguish that really can't handle feeling the effects of, you know, being watched and being harassed and and it having an effect on the way that they respond in society and around people, and it creates a certain paranoia in them. And you know, we just people tend to not care that I don't care, I'm gonna make content. I don't care. That's a weird thing, you know. It's weird. So here we wanted to tell you something about, you know, another person's perception of why the groups are on social media, and they said that it's pertaining to the deep state, and the deep state has my heater. The deep state has control of all social media platforms, which I knew that. I've stated that in other videos. Like, they own all these platforms. Nothing here is going to go under the radar. Wherever there's a central intelligence agency, wherever there's a central intelligence, there's a center where intelligence is the primary focus. So all intelligence has to pass through this particular center. We have to know any and everything. This is how you get places like Venezuela. This is how you get um, things like um, uh, Iran and Iraq and Saudi Arabia and all that stuff, because they get to the people and they turn these people into cells, and these cells multiply, and by the time you know it, you don't got a 100,000 people that's working from the inside out to topple whatever regime it is that's in play. And then you got your own one amongst them that's placed in there. So this is all, you know, being part of the central intelligence, the center of intelligence. It's the agency that has access to every and all person's information, and it's an ongoing thing, and it's never going to stop, because they have to have all information. They have to know what you know. They have to know what she know. They have to know what they know, what the kids know. They have to know everything, because if not, then they wouldn't be the center of intelligence. So here he states that the deep state controls all social media, and most TI groups are control groups run by the deep state, and most TIs are perps, and every platform has government trolls that disrupt, gaslight, and put out disinformation. Facebook is the deep state's best spying tool, and fusion centers monitor Facebook, but also fuse everything and fuse everything. And NSA uses spyware, Pegasus, and hacks anything with a signal, SIG-INT. They monitor your phone to know what you're doing, thinking, and planning, and get inside your phone to know what you're doing, thinking, and planning, and get inside your OODA, and we're going to talk about that. It's an OODA loop, and manipulate you with suggestions and track your location and synchronize electronic harassment and first responder noise campaigns and flying monkeys. I don't know what flying monkeys is, but I hear I hear that all the time. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Me being my authentic self, I don't pick up on slang that other people would use. I would still consider whatever a flying monkey is. I mean, I don't. I'm gonna find out right now though. But um, hide flying monkeys hide hostile intent and act friendly and keep you talking to get inside your OODA loop and backstab, gaslight, and distract. They put your ideas in movies and books and music and have YouTubers do scripted street theater and put your porn habits on the gang stalking app to sexually humiliate you and other information to do scripted street theater. They only know what you tell them, so STFU and put out disinformation on your phone and talking to flying monkeys. JTTF, Fusion Centers, and InfraGard use eGuardian pretending to track threats and use scripts and do entrapment. Assume the whole community is gang stalking, doing something similar with first responders. So that's just what it is. And you know, they do. That's one thing that they do. They do put ideas in movies and books and music and have YouTubers do scripted street theater and put your porn habits on the gang stalking app to sexually humiliate you and other information to do scripted street theater. They have this one TV show, Black Mirror, and Black Mirror. What Black Mirror is, this is the Black Mirror, and as you can see, my reflection in there. This is a Black Mirror. You know, so this is Black Mirror. Get it? Black Mirror. So this is Black Mirror. So just in case you didn't know what Black Mirror is, but the TV show Black Mirror, um, Black Mirror, right here. Not this one. Not this one. This particular TV show right here. This one with these episodes. With these episodes. So a lot of these episodes are relevant to certain things that's common in society. They have this one episode is called Jane is Awful, and in Jane is Awful, it's deep. You would probably have to go and check that one out. It's called right here. Joan, Joan is awful. Joan is awful. You know what I mean? And she's a regular woman, and she has some sort of problems, like certain disorders and stuff like that. And then she's just sitting at home with her boyfriend, and they start watching the TV show, and the TV show is called Joan is Awful. She's like, oh, what the, you know? And then everything that Jane did throughout the course of that day, it was being shown in the video inside of the movie. So she ended up confronting the people, and she found out that even that Joan was being played by another Joan, and that one was created by another Joan. So they had multiple people playing the role of one person, and all capitalizing off of that particular person who wasn't even capitalizing off of, didn't even know, like, oh, she didn't even understand why they was doing that. But what happened was they had her digital footprint and her fingerprint, and she signed up for everything for her to be recorded and stored and duplicated. So this is what we don't know when we sign up for certain apps and stuff like that. You can be made into a digital um soul. You can have a digital soul, and that digital soul can be harbored or embodied by somebody else. Somebody else can play you. So you have to read the fine print of everything when it comes to digital technology right now. You would have to get, you just heard, I'm not sure how, because like I said, I just updated my computer. I went from Windows 10 to Windows 11, and I had to re-download certain other things. And I'm not sure how you're going to pick up on that audio and how it's going to sound, because sometimes on there the sound becomes double because my mic is right there and the TV is right there. So I'm not sure how it's going to sound. This is the first time, recording on this, this upgraded PC, you know. So yeah. Um so that's just something that you wanted to point out about that, about how they get information, and they'll create movies, and YouTubers be saying certain things that hold on, I'm experiencing that. What? Hold on, y'all talking about me? you know so yeah. And that's something that you had to show people, is because the other day you did show people that let me see if I can pull this up. Let me switch my account. And you showed people on the post, you know, you showed people this, a few days ago, that reset reset your password. Hi Yoshi, we got a request to reset your Instagram password. Reset password. If you ignore this message, your password will not be changed. If you didn't request a password reset, let us know. You know what I mean? Ignore it. Reset password. If you ignore this message, your password will not be changed. So we had somebody trying to get into my Instagram, you know, and like I stated, after a certain amount of time. Like, I haven't been on, when I just recently went back on Instagram. Now, what I found on Instagram, I'm gonna display to you here. So I haven't been on Instagram in over 9 years. I believe it's not either 7 years or 9 years. So the last person or the last thing that I interacted with on Instagram was around about um 2011 or 12 or something like that, or 2010 or something like that. Um, so I haven't been on there in all that while. So when I went on there, when I went on to Instagram, let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I could show you uh, where it is. But I went on there recently and they told me that, son. I said, they told me that, son. You know what I mean? Let's see where this thing is at. Y'all see this right here? Help is available. You know, help is available. They told me that. This is what happened when I logged in there. The help is available. You're seeing this because we removed one of your photos that related to suicide, self injury, or eating disorder. You know, we related, we something. I clicked this. I clicked off of this. You know, as soon as I seen it, I made a screenshot of it, and then I went into my what's the name to see, like, yo, what's going on in there? What's how many things been on there that I haven't seen? Because I told you one time there was this old dating app that I was on, and then when I went back in there was a whole bunch of me interacting with a whole bunch of guys. Know what I mean? Sexually, like interacting with them, like, yo, oh, oh. You know what I mean? And like I said, I was rolling on the floor when I seen it. I was like, hold on, bro. These people went to that extent. Who are they? Who needs to be? Who needs this information of me to be seen like that? Who needs this information of this? You know what I mean? Who needs that? You know what I mean? Who needs for me to be sound? Who needs for me to sound and look crazy? Who needs that? Who needs that? You know what I mean? You're that powerful that we need to fabricate certain things about you. Who needs that? The government? The CIA? Who needs that? You know, who needs it? But yeah, yeah. Son, I haven't been on Instagram in a long time. And when I did, I only posted pictures. I haven't even been on there. I don't even talk nothing on there. It's just a picture creating and posting place, you know. So and I just don't like the app. I don't like the app. Facebook I like a little bit more because you're able to interact and um expound on certain things and share certain things with detail as opposed to you just showing the picture. I'm like I said, I'm one that really rarely likes to be seen. But yeah, you're seeing this because we removed one of your photos that related to suicide, self injury, or eating disorders. So the question is, who, this is from December 20th, 2025. Only you can see this. Son, who needs that? Who needs this information? Who needs for me to sound and look like, yo, I don't have it all together? You know, the other day, or around, I don't know whether it was New Year's, but my cousin came up here, and my cousin, it's been placed on me that he was amongst those that was a part of, trying to, keep something from me and mislead people about me. Like my cousin. My cousin know better. My cousin knows that I'm really not nobody to play with. He knows that. He knew that since we was a child. Not like I'm the toughest person in the world, but yo, you have a certain power and a certain aura and an energy with you. You have an energy field around you that I know I'm not supposed to play with you. Your father didn't play about you. And mind you, my father knew what was relayed to him when I was a child. Like, yo, you can't touch me. Now, I mean, you told your father that. Somebody that you believed that he brought you here. You told them, like, yo, and he believed that. You know what I mean? So He protected me from them. And he knew that, like, son, he wasn't right. He wasn't like his brothers. It was something about him that, but it was laid on me. My cousin was trying to get close to me, for um some sort of malicious purposes. Because one time we was in the laundromat when I stayed by my mother's house. We was downstairs in the laundromat, and he took a picture of me, like, I mean, he took a picture of me, so I already knew, like, yo, son, you with them people, dog. I mean, and some people think that because they're like a god body, or that they have a certain thing that they believe that they're above the true and living God. A lot of people believe that because I'm in this, I'm above that. No, dog, you are not. You are not. There's, like I said, a true and living God. You know what I mean? And some of us are with that God. You know what I mean? And we're not to be played with. But he's somebody that was playing with you. Like, you know what I mean? He think because he's a 5%, he's God himself. Dog, you are not, you know, um, no, you're no, you're not. No, you're not. And that's for anybody that think they are. No, you're not. You know what I mean? You know you're not. You know what I mean? Not to disrespect anybody's belief, but no, you're not. No, you're not. That's for everybody, because you can't. How you God? But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Where this come from? Where that come from? What's that come from? You made that means that you made that too. That you made that. You made the trees. You made the plants. You made that. You made all that stuff, dog. You put the sun up there. Oh yeah. You the moon up there. You did that. Yeah. No, you're not. But that's another story for another story. And so he took a picture of me. Like I told him, like, son, a lot of people, when people got into their inboxes, they took the bait. Other people, they refused certain things, you know. And those people that took the bait, these are, you know, people with, opportunistic um traits, and they do things for the right at the right opportunity. But he was trying to get amongst me, and I was, being, nah, I'm not around right now though. Nah, I'm good. Yo, get with me and I just smoke this bud. So I don't smoke no more, dog. I don't mess around no more. Even my neighbor gave me some bud like for New Year's, and I'm like, son, I'm not smoking no bud. I'm not taking nothing from nobody. You know what I mean? I'm not taking nothing. I told you about the time that one dude tried to give me bud, and that bud ended up being um it ended up being rat poison, like crumbled up rat poison. You would think that it's like crumpled up um marijuana leaves, but it was crumpled up rat poison. And dog, nah, dog. Nah. But I told him, like, son, I had a dream, and some of our people told me, like, yo, leave you alone, leave y'all all alone. And that kind of hit him, and he went kind of like ballistic, like, son, how would you know that? You know what I mean? Because I already knew that you was, part of the get down crew. And when I said that, I was being I was being standoffish towards him, like I wouldn't let him around me, and he was telling me that, you know, be well, like you're crazy. You know what I mean? He wanted me to sound or appear like I was crazy. You know what I mean? So there's people that want you to sound and appear like you're crazy. Like I told you, sometimes those things justify certain other things that they do, so to make you appear or to seem crazy when they know that you're actually sane, you know. Insane people does stuff like, pretend that they're being gang stalked and make, hella content, excuse my usage, hella content, and then they just continuously make it and just go viral off of it and viral off of it, as opposed to them being one that's trying to help people see, like, yo, son, don't, be more this, don't fall into that. It's all about preventing you from falling into traps. You know, it's all about preventing you from falling into traps. So, even online, like I'm gonna show you probably just a brief video of how you interact with um the Meta headset, and for people that want to get into a safe space, being that you know that everything is being monitored and watched and recorded as stated in in this particular um post right here, you know, where it stated that, you know, everything is theirs, I spoke about that a few times. Like everything that's something here for you to be on is being monitored and watched. And they create certain snares for you in them. So, to get into the meta, it's a safe space because now you have more control over um, what you're allowing to be seen and what you're allowing to be um, um, gained from you. So in there, like I said, me, I'm always being a light source wherever I go. If there's, a group of people, or if you're in a gang, or I'm in a game with people, and then there's people there, you're always the one that's giving them different than the norm. If there's people on there cursing, if there's kids on there cursing, if there's people on there being racist and negative, you're the one that's not going to be the one that feed into the negativity. Hey man, you ain't keep me talking about me, nigga. Who you calling that? Man, ain't no N word. You know what I mean? So you're not the one that's going to fear, the one that's going to be like, son, hold on, dog. It's 2026. You still. Why you think this the 1908? You think this the 1800s, dog? That's old, bruh. Where you from? You still use that word? So you would do certain things that, they try to get underneath your skin. Especially, it's terrible. I mean, kids is terrible. I mean, if you're in that vicinity and there's children there, they're terrible. They're terrible. You know what I mean? And you're not saying that, for them collectively, but what they allow themselves to absorb and put out with the intentions of striking a nerve, And again, you can't nobody offend me. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't offend me with words. You can't offend me. But yeah. Now we wanted to understand what flying monkeys mean. Because when I hear that, I think of um um like a karate movie. I mean, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Monkey Style, Monkey Paw, Monkey Fist, and stuff like that. You would think of things like that, but as far as you using that terminology, I would never. I would never. See, this is if you was to go on YouTube and type that in, you would see how many people, how much that would come up, how much it would come up. Flying monkey is a psychology. In psychology, refers to people used by an abuser, like a narcissist or a sociopath. Okay, to manipulate, harass, or control their target, acting as messengers or enforcers, much like the winged monkey served the wicked witch in the Wizard of Oz. Do I remember that? I think I do, because I did see the Wizard of Oz. These individuals might be family, friend, or colleagues who either believe the abuser's lies, fear the abuser, or have their own unhealthy dynamics that the abuser exploits. Enabler. They carry out the abuser's bidding, spreading rumors, delivering messages, or attacking the target. Exploited or willing, they might be manipulated into helping, be too scared to refuse, or even share traits with the abuser, like narcissism, making them susceptible to manipulation. So they would be somebody that um are being exploited. Like, hey, we'll let you out of jail early. What do I got to do? We got this one guy. he, we want you to watch him. Keep an eye, befriend him. In fact, we'll set you up with an apartment close to that guy, and you be that guy's friend. And if you could have a relationship with this particular guy, that'd be a bonus for you. But are you interested? Yeah, let me out. So I mean, these are exploited and willing. So a narcissist uses a network of these people, parents, children, friends, co-workers, to maintain control and undermine their target, especially after a breakup or conflict. So this is where there's a network of them. So with me, everybody that was, somebody in my life became one. And like I told you, it didn't come from you studying this and knowing. You felt it through the spirit. You can't be a person that's um hot one day then cold the next. I would pick that up. Hold on. If you're cold, you're supposed to stay cold. If you're hot, then you become cold. Hey, something's up. What are you up to? You know what I mean? Now, if you're cold, then you become hot. Oh, who sent you? You understand? Oh, who sent you? So you know these things through the spirit. That's why they tell you to if you know people by the spirit, know them by the fruits. If you're hot, I know you. Oh, you coming cold today. What's up? That's not your spirit. That's not your spirit. Your spirit is normally hot. You're cold today. Hold on, you're lukewarm. You understand? So, yeah. Dog, I'm gonna tell you one more time, man. Leave me alone, bruh. Dog, leave me alone, man. Dog play too much. I love dog, man. Dog. See, I'm poor, but dog is rich. Dog got everything in here. Dog got everything. Dog got treats. You have the yin yang. Got food. He decides I don't want that right now. Give me that. You know what I mean? Want to play and got all sorts of toys, but the only thing dog wants is string. Just wants to play string, bro. That's it. Let me see. Let me see. Dog. Hey, dog. All dog want to do, bro, is play string, bro. Dog only want to play string. And wake me up to play it. Like, oh, don't care about nothing. One time I came out there and he had two strings lined up, like, yo, pick your poison. Yo, pick one. Like, lined up, like, literally lined up like this. Like, lined up. Two of them. Like, soon as I came out the room, because I come out the room and I go make my coffee. And he just had them lined up, like, yo, pick one. Yo, pick one. It's serious with him. It's like playing tennis with him. Like he's like a neighbor that that you don't play tennis, but they play tennis, and every time they see you, they be like, "Hey neighbor, you want to play tennis?" Like, I don't play. All right, come on, bro. Let's play. You know what I mean? And knowing that you can't beat them, but this is just something that they real good at, and they just want to keep playing it. But that's just dog. I just wanted to show y'all and tell y'all that that's all a dog care about. You know, and you have to supply that entertainment for them, because if not, then cuz go around being and moaning. So yeah, that's what flying monkeys is. I never knew that. I just thought it was a term that people just use, but I'm not into sharing in terminology. I don't be like, yo, no cap, yo, for yo, real talk, real. I don't. I'm not a terminology using type of person. You know, and I love that about me. That you're not the one that pick up on new slang. You know, you know. So that's just what that is. But OODA, what the ODDA is the four stages of the OODA, and this is the terminology that he referred to in here when he was talking about your OODA loop and manipulate you with suggestions and track your location and synchronize this electronic harassment. So the OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, and act. Observe, orient, decide, act is a rapid decision making model developed by U.S. Air Force Colonel John Boyd. I believe John Boyd was the one that went out to Antarctica. Let me see. I think, what was that bird? You see, John C. Boyd, U.S. biologist for his name, possibly John Boyd, senior civil service. His experience in Australian public service at senior executive level in Antarctica policy, program, space policy. I don't know, but one of them went out to Antarctica, but whatever. But that's what OODA came from us. U.S. Air Force Colonel John Boyd helping individuals and organizations gain a competitive edge by processing information and acting faster than opponents in dynamic situations. It's a continuous cycle where you gather information, observe, make sense of it, orient, choose a course of action, decide, and execute it, act, with the results feeding back to restart the loop, emphasizing agility and continuous adaptation. This video provides a brief overview of the OODA loop, so you could check this video out if you want to know about it in detail from somebody else, but I haven't seen it. The four stages of OODA loop: observe, gather raw data and information from your environment using all senses and tools, focusing on real-time changes and potential threats. Orient: this is the most critical stage where you contextualize observations by filtering them through your experiences, culture, and goals, challenging biases to form a meaningful understanding. Decide, formulate, and select the best possible course of action from the options developed during orientation. Implement the chosen decision, executing the plan. This video explains the four stages of the OODA loop in more detail. So, key concepts: continuous cycle. The action taken generates new data, restarting the loop for ongoing learning and adjustment. Speed advantage. The goal is to cycle through your OODA loop faster than your competitor, disrupting their ability to respond effectively. Broad application. While born from an air combat, it's used in business, sports, and emergency response for agile decision making. So it's like a quick response. Like a cat, they have a quick decision making um, ability. So this is the diagram. If you was to look at it, it will look more like this, you know. And now the dog is doing zoomies. Weird, bruh. So this is um something for you to take a look at, at your leisure, at your leisure. But you know, That's just what it is. It's just what it is. Justice for targeted individuals. People are weird. But no, I wanted to share that because you were seeing that there was a person that had came and commented on my page recently, and they were saying that they just recently began experiencing targeting, and like I said, you want to help people, and you also believe them. This guy, and you believe some people, but then you do have others that have there's a history of people that are not really that, like Maddox cult. He's not really that, and you're not saying that because you got a lot of these people watching you. No, you're just doing it because in the fashion in which you're being um demonstrative of what gang stalking is, and some people have a certain sense, their sense of understanding is great. So you can't throw certain people off. Like you would do have a lot of people that comment, and um they're in agreeing with his things. Know what I mean? Yeah, see this person. See now we got people. Why do you think they are stalking you? So this person says, "Come on, dog. Looks like he chooses random people and accuses them gang stalking him." I like when people use their wits. It was glitching. I know how to collect evidence. So then you have people that comment with like they're giving you insight, but they can't. If you're how you're going to give insight and you can't see that some of these people aren't really that. What would make him a prime suspect for gang stalking? Some people may be suspects. They may be drug dealers. They may be drug. You know what I mean? They may be somebody that's of interest to certain other people for other reasons. But then you have some that simply don't bother nobody, simply don't mess with anybody, and they're still one that feels as though, oh, why are y'all stalking me? I'm a single, woman, and I don't bother anybody. I take care of my kids. I go home. The only thing it is I don't support this, you know. So, they have people like that, you know. Then you have people that may have been in a relationship with others that have certain ties to other things, and because you may have had a toxic relationship, they want to make your whole life a living hell, you know. So they do have that. Like you may have dated um a daughter or a grandson of a certain organization, and because you made them cry or y'all had a fight or whatever, they may feel as though we're going to stalk you. We're going to make your life a living hell because we got the power to, you know, which is wrong, and sometimes that be the end result. But you do have those that um, may be part of the problem. Then, I told you about the um the Squid Games, how they have some people that come on dog, come on, 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 come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, dog. Come on, come on, come on, get out of there. Come on, get out of there, get out of there. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, dog. Come on, come on, come on, dog. That's my butter, man. And you have people That's the thing. You want your cat to eat stuff that it's not supposed to eat. So, like I told you, you have to be a good servant. So you have people that are more um agreeing with doing malicious things, to obtain a certain, status. Then you have people that are in disagreement with doing, malicious things. And those people that are in disagreement with it would be those that are targeted by the people that are willing to do malicious things. So you do have a lot of different um, reasons why there's a lot of stalking. Then you have those that have mental illnesses on record where it may be justified to watch certain people because of their mental stability and making mental health a thing. And because of that, you'll have a lot of people trying to trigger um psychotic episode or manic episodes in you, and the paranoid episodes in you. And so you have to be mindful of all of that, because I believe the guy stated that um he doesn't drink coffee, and you know what I mean. And this is Tales. He said, like Tales from Sonic the Hedgehog. Everything makes sense now because I really love Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was one that was a phenomenal human being. He was kind of I forget the other dude, Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly, oh, probably so. Yeah, Jim. They was phenomenal um beings as far as their craft and what they was able to do. So he said that he kind of studied Bruce Lee. And he said, "Women love to hate him, men too, but people like me. My personal friends betrayed me. A few of them actually set this whole thing up. I would never do what they did." So when you're one that don't do what they did, that goes into the thing that I was saying about those that agree to it and those that disagree. Like you could never come to me, never. I don't, never in a million years could come to me and offer me gift cards and rewards, a house, a home for watch that particular guy and befriend him, spread this rumor about. You could never do that. You couldn't. So some of us are not that, and because we are not that, we are outcast from people that are that. You know. So as I said, for 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 whoever, to believe that um, a certain system is going to, leave until, things switch and to people come into a realization that some of the things that we doing are meritless. They don't really have any kind of substance to them. What else is there? What else is there? And then they find out what else is out there, and then what that is greater than that. So, yeah, some of us is not, you know, we're not one of those people that is easily, um, you could easily mislead us. I even got the interaction in a private interaction, and I made that public. Like, hold on, and you make it public just in case they get it somebody else's. And this is the response that you should have. The response that you should have, especially as a Christian, is the same response that Jesus had when he was confronted, with doing certain things, for doing something strange for some change. Hold on, dog, don't tempt me. You can't tempt me. Son of God is not to be tempted. Boy, God is not to be tempted. You know? So that's the response that you should have, but not be the one that's the recipient of rewards from the wicked. You know. So I will never trade this, knowing all the stuff, you know. So the whole community, and then left after I started getting gang stalked. It's messed up, this world, but I am stronger. I would rather know this world for what it is than to be in a comfort illusion like I was. I will never trade this, and knowing all the stuff I know now. Thank you for this valuable information. I was doing my research on gang stalking, CIA, FBI, how they are one thing, and question on quota. I'm gonna look up PDFs. They do have PDFs on gang stalking and all sorts of manuals, but you do have to be mindful of where you're getting these manuals from. Like I said, some people want to keep you in a state, a paranoid state, and just keep pumping out information to keep you paranoid. And the only reason why you're making this particular post because you, like I said, some people you still want to help, and you can't be one that can't look at everybody like they're part of the program, and that's probably what they want you to do. And that's the same thing with the girl, that's a part of the program. Like she might literally needs help, and because you've been burnt by her so many times, you are reluctant to help her. And that's never supposed to be your standpoint. You help even those that persecute you. You're even able to be um, a support to them. But if they have a support, you're not stupid enough to be like, son, you got help. Your mother don't help you. Why your brother? You got brother over there. You got cousins over there. So you're not one that knows that a person is, completely in in the cold, left out in the cold. So you do know that why don't they help you? Ain't that your boyfriend? Ain't you staying with them? Why they don't help you? Why they don't put you somewhere? So you're still able to be one that help people, but you're not stupid enough to keep falling into the same traps. Especially when it's that person and everybody that's surrounding that person. Like I said, I've seen them, leave here. I've seen a girl that was partying with her all week, and um, same thing with her before she met her demise, they would have stuff about her online like, yo, I don't want to live no more. I don't want to be here. And that could have even been, play. That could have not even been her that stated all that stuff. And then, they found her by a bridge. Why would you go, like, literally by a bridge? They found her, excuse my usage, hanging from a bridge. Why would, what I mean? She be with you all week, then, what I mean? Why a bridge anyway? You know, why a bridge? You could have did that anywhere. You know, so we do know that there's that going on. With those people, and they have a history of that, and they're still trying to hide behind that. Like I said, until they come out and address that, nothing is going away. And you can put on as many costumes as you want. You could put on Hebrew Israelite costumes. You could put on whatever kind of costumes. It's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's still the same exact thing. And you actually have to address certain things in order for you to come from up out of it. So that's what you're basically saying. Everything has to be addressed before you can press on. You have to address certain things. You can't just cover it and just press on. No, it's still gonna be underneath there. you know so that's why you know that's why you take people into consideration, and always um, be a support to people in need. And that's just what it is. It's just what it is.